हेलो दोस्तों, वेलकम अगेन। आज की वीडियो में मैं बात करूंगा कि किस तरह से आप कनाडा में अपना टैक्स रिटर्न फाइल कर सकते हैं विदाउट इनकरिंग एनी कॉस्ट। जी बिल्कुल ज़ीरो कॉस्ट इनकर किए आप अपना टैक्स रिटर्न फाइल कर सकते हैं। तो मैं इस वीडियो में वो सारा ट्यूटोरियल शेयर करूंगा कि किस तरह से स्टेप बाय स्टेप आप अपना टैक्स रिटर्न फाइल कर सकते हैं इन अ वेरी सिंपल वे। ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा जो है वो आपको आधा घंटा लगेगा और आधा घंटे में आप अपना पूरा टैक्स रिटर्न फाइल कर सकते हैं। यही टैक्स रिटर्न अगर आपको किसी एजेंट के थ्रू या किसी टैक्स लॉयर के थ्रू कराना पड़े तो आपको कम से कम पर टैक्स रिटर्न $50 देने पड़ते हैं, वो भी अगर बहुत सिंपल टैक्स रिटर्न हो। अगर उसमें रेंटल इनकम या कुछ और भी शामिल हो तो ज़्यादा भी चार्ज करते हैं। और यही टैक्स रिटर्न अगर आपने अपने स्पाउस के साथ करने हो तो फिर आपको तकरीबन $100 से ज़्यादा की अमाउंट जो है वो देनी पड़ती है। So you can just simply save that $100, that $50 that you would pay and you can file your tax yourself। अच्छा, एक और टैक्स फाइल करने का फ़ायदा ये भी होता है कि आपको आइडिया हो जाता है या खुद समझ आ जाती है कि कहाँ जो है वो टैक्स इनकर होता है, कहाँ से टैक्स बच सकता है लीगल तरीके से एंड ऑल। एंड जब आप एक बारी फाइल करेंगे, दो बारी फाइल करेंगे, 3 मरतबा फाइल करेंगे, आहिस्ता आहिस्ता आपको ये सारी लर्निंग और समझ आना शुरू हो जाएगी। और बहुत ज़रूरी है कि आप पैसा किस तरह से जाता है और किस तरह से बनता है और किस तरह से बचता है पूरी टैक्स की जो अम्ब्रेला के अंदर है, ये जानना, ये समझना बहुत लाजमी है ताकि आप अच्छे से अच्छे टैक्स डिसीजंस ले सकें और ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा जो है अपना पैसा सेव कर सकें और कम से कम जो है वो टैक्स दें इन अ प्रॉपर इन अ लीगल वे। अच्छा, आगे बढ़ने से पहले आपसे एक स्पेशल रिक्वेस्ट है, विच इज़ लाइक का बटन और सब्सक्राइब का बटन ज़रूर दबाएं और सब्सक्राइब का भी बटन अलॉन्ग विद द बेल आइकन। ये बिल्कुल फ्री है, इसमें कोई चार्जेस नहीं लगेंगे, बट मेरे लिए और मेरी वाइफ के लिए जो इस चैनल पे कंटेंट डालते हैं, हमारे लिए इट विल मीन अ लॉट, ताकि हम अपना कंटेंट बेहतर कर सकें और ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा कंटेंट प्रोड्यूस कर सकें। इस चैनल पे मैं और मेरी वाइफ बतूल हम कंटेंट प्रोड्यूस करते हैं विद रिगार्ड्स टू कमिंग टू नॉर्थ अमेरिका, सेटलिंग इन नॉर्थ अमेरिका। हम अपनी एक्सपीरियंसेस और अपनी जर्नी शेयर करते हैं। हम ओरिजिनली साउथ एशिया से हैं, 7 साल हम मिडल ईस्ट में रहे हैं, दुबई में, फिर हम कनाडा रहे हैं 5 साल और अब हम यूएस में हैं। तो ये सारी जर्नी और सारे एक्सपीरियंसेस हम आपसे शेयर करते हैं। तो प्लीज़ मेक श्योर कि आप सब्सक्राइब करें ताकि आप नोटिफाई हो जाएं जब भी हम इस चैनल पे कोई नया कंटेंट डालें। अच्छा, एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट चीज़ और जो मैं आपसे शेयर करना चाहता हूँ बिफोर हम ट्यूटोरियल में जाएं, वो ये है कि रिसेंटली मैंने एक जो है ऐप या एक एक्सचेंज कंपनी यूज़ की है फॉर ट्रांसफरिंग मनी आउट। अगर आप इंटरेस्टेड हैं और ग्लोबली पैसे भेजते हैं और ग्लोबली पैसे ट्रांसफ़र करते हैं तो इस ऐप को या इस एजेंसी को ज़रूर चेकआउट करें। मैंने रिसेंटली ही इनको यूज़ किया है एंड आई गॉट वन ऑफ द बेस्ट एक्सचेंज रेट्स विद मिनिमल फ़ी और 5 मिनट में मेरे पैसे जो हैं वो यूएस से पाकिस्तान ट्रांसफ़र हो गए थे। तो अगर आप इनको ट्राई करेंगे तो मैं जो हूँ वो एक लिंक छोड़ रहा हूँ इसकी डिस्क्रिप्शन ऑफ दिस वीडियो में। अगर आप वो लिंक यूज़ करेंगे तो आपको $20 का क्रेडिट भी मिलेगा पहले ट्रांसफ़र पे। तो पहला जो आप अमाउंट ट्रांसफ़र आउट करेंगे उस पर आपको $20 का क्रेडिट मिलेगा, विच यू कैन गेट इफ़ यू यूज़ द लिंक दैट आई विल लीव इन द डिस्क्रिप्शन ऑफ दिस वीडियो। नाउ लेट्स गेट इनटू द ट्यूटोरियल। अच्छा, इस वीडियो में जो ट्यूटोरियल मैंने रिकॉर्ड किया है उसमें मैं अपना 2021 का टैक्स रिटर्न फाइल कर रहा हूँ। हाउएवर आप किसी भी साल का टैक्स रिटर्न फाइल कर सकते हैं। सिर्फ आपको करना ये है कि जब आप ये फॉर्म भरना शुरू कर रहे हों तो शुरू में आपको ऑप्शन देता है कि आप किस ईयर का टैक्स रिटर्न भर रहे हैं, 2022, 2023, जो भी आपका ईयर है जिसका भी आपने टैक्स रिटर्न भरना है वो सिलेक्ट कर लें। जब आप सेलेक्ट करेंगे तो एग्जैक्टली इसी तरह से आपको फॉर्म भरना पड़ेगा जिस तरह मैंने ट्यूटोरियल में समझाया। सो 2021 की जगह आप 2022 या 2023 का भी फॉर्म भर सकते हैं एज़ पर योर लाइकिंग। जो भी आपका टैक्स रिटर्न है जो कि पेंडिंग है उसको आपने भरना है। और अगर आपके 3 साल के टैक्स रिटर्न पेंडिंग है तो मे बी यू जस्ट डू 1 2021, देन डू 2022 एंड देन डू 2023। अच्छा, चूंकि हम टैक्स की बात कर रहे हैं, मैंने एक और वीडियो बनाई है जिसमें मैंने एक तरीका बताया है जिस तरह से आप अपनी टैक्स लायबिलिटी कम कर सकते हैं यूजिंग RRSP। उस वीडियो का लिंक मैं यहाँ छोड़ दूंगा, प्लीज़ उसको चेकआउट करें क्योंकि वो एक बहुत स्मार्ट तरीका है और बहुत जो है वो अमेजिंग तरीका है इन ऑर्डर टू रिड्यूस योर टैक्स लायबिलिटी। सो मेक श्योर यू चेक दैट वीडियो आउट एज वेल। First and foremost, we will log into wealthsimple.com. Wealthsimple is a live text software that you can use to input the required information and hence basis that it will create your tax returns. So if you are a first time user, you click on get started and sign up. Since I already have an account, so I'll go into login. Here click on tax. Wealthsimple also offers investment services, however we will select tax here. Here add the person for whom you want to file the tax return, the name of the person. Now let's start filling the details. Start with your name. This online software has an auto save feature, which means as and when you're filling the software, in case you want to stop and come back on another day, whatever information you've entered will remain saved and you can resume at a later date from where you left. Note all the fields that have an asterisk against it are mandatory, which means it is compulsory to fill them in order for you to complete your tax return. Then let's come down. Here we have an option of net file access code. Now filling out the net file access code is entirely optional. However, if you wish to use your information from your current tax return to confirm your identity with CRA in future, primarily for communication and identification purposes, you can find this code on the paper version of your notice of assessment as well as on the PDF version in my account. Here put in your address. Now in case you're not clear about any field, you can hover on the question mark sign, click on it, and it will give you more details about what needs to be filled and how that particular field needs to be filled. You will see throughout the form that this question mark is almost across all the fields and hence giving you more information regarding each of the fields and making it easy for you to understand how to fill this form. Now about your residence, in which province or territory did you live on December 2021? So Ontario for me. If your province or territory of residence changed in 2021, enter the date of your move. Since I didn't move provinces, so blank. Is your home address the same as the mailing address? Yes. In which province or territory do you currently live? Did you become a resident of Canada or immigrate for tax purposes in 2021? No. In case you became the resident of Canada in 2021, then you cannot file your tax return online. You'll have to file a paper tax return, and for that it is best recommended that you consult a tax lawyer. However, if your tax return has been previously filed, then you can go ahead and file using the online option. You and your family, marital status on December 31, 2021, married. Do you want to prepare your returns together? Yes. Name of the partner, create and link. In this way, this Wealthsimple software will automatically optimize your tax. That is, it will make sure that the credits are assigned to either you or your wife in a way that it maximizes the refund that you will get from CRA. So it's best to link your tax return with your partner and let the software optimize the tax for you. Did your marital status change in 2021? No. Do you have dependents? Yes. Did you have any children in shared custody? No, I didn't have any shared custody. Miscellaneous. Did you own or hold specific foreign property above $100,000? No. Did you dispose of your principal residence in 2021? No. Are you filing an income tax return with CRA for the first time? No. Are you a Canadian citizen? Yes. This is optional. I would select yes. That is, my data can be used by the election services. Are you a person registered under Indian Act? No. Were you confined to a prison? No. Now, as you are filling the form, here you will see refund, and against it the number is 0. This amount will change as you fill the form by adding your income and tax details. In case this number is green, it means CRA owes you money. In case it's orange or red, it means you owe money to CRA. Moving on with filling in the form, will you or your partner claim the climate action incentive? Here I will select yes. Again, it doesn't change the refund number as yet, because once you file the tax return, basis your income and all the details that you filed, CRA will decide whether you are eligible for climate action incentive or not. So it's best to select yes here. Same for Ontario Trillium benefit, just select yes. Now this is a very important step. Are you registered for CRA My Account? I am, so I'll select yes. In case you are not, first and foremost, before going ahead with the rest of the form, go and register yourself on CRA My Account. The beauty of this option is that the software can connect to your CRA My Account and can get all the details that are there already in order to fill this form automatically, as against you trying to punch in each and every cell and each and every number. For instance, this software can access your information from your previous tax return, and in case there are any unused losses or capital gains, it will directly populate this software by itself versus you trying to locate and source those numbers. Similarly, your employer, once they create your T4 slip and they send it to you, they also send a copy to CRA, and that copy is captured in your MyCRA account. So once you link this software to your MyCRA account, it will directly pull all the T4 details from the T4 slip that has been submitted to CRA account and automatically populate this software. This also applies to T-slips pertaining to capital gains and dividends, because your brokerage house with which you trade on the stock market also submit their T-slips to CRA, and saving you lots of trouble and lots of time. Moving on with filling in the form. Do you want to sign up for online mail to get your notice of assessment through CRA My Account? I'm already signed up. Now here is where we connect with CRA My Account. So click here. Click on I agree, authorize with CRA My Account, and authorization was successful. Now here you give permission for all the T-slips that are available with CRA for the software to extract data directly from them. Now I see a refund number here, which is the money that CRA owes me. This number is due to the fact that the software has been automatically populated from tax slips that were available with CRA. Now in case there are any tax slips that have not been automatically populated, you can come back to the software and press check again. Maybe those slips have not yet been submitted either by your employer or by the brokerage house to the CRA, and hence it's best to wait as against trying to fill this up all manually. Let's move down. Spouse and common law partner. Does your partner have disability? No. Again, this is all for disability support, which is none, so I won't check anything here. Did you live together for all of 2021? Yes. Amounts transferred from your partner. Will automatically transfer your partner's eligible unused amounts to line of your tax return. Check here if you don't want to transfer these amounts. I'll let them transfer, and again, as I said, let them optimize my tax return and hence decide best where things should fall. Here I will add the names of my dependent. These fields are not required, so no need to fill them. No adoption expense. I didn't have any childcare expenses, but in case you do, select yes here and then start filling up these fields here. This is about caregivers providing childcare services. In my case, it is no, so I'll select no. Climate action incentive. Do you live in a small rural community? No. Who will claim this credit? I usually select me just to make it easy. Ontario energy and property taxes. Again, note the refund amount is not changing, so keep selecting yes. Let CRA decide whether you're eligible or not. If you are, you'll receive the refund. Put the required details here. I live in a rental property, so I'll put the rent here. In case you have a principal property in which you're living, put the amount of tax that you pay, the energy cost that you incur, and here declaration of principal residence, your address, number of months you were resident. Fill in this chart as required. Now here you see my T4 has been automatically populated from the CRA account. Here it also shows the mark autofill, which means that it was autofilled without me populating it. There is one red sign here, so let's see why it's red. It says you can't enter 0 in this field, please leave it blank. So I'll leave it blank. Once blank, the red is gone. Now you can also compare the details entered in each of the tax forms here in the software against the original tax slips. As the software interface mimics your tax slips, you can double check if all relevant boxes and fields reflect the correct information. Also, if there are any fields or boxes missing, you can add them here. Additionally, you can choose to manually input the tax forms by adding another tax form here, or in case you want to add a completely new form, you can search it in the search bar available in the software. Now everything is fine here. We can move down. RRSP, I would just like to double check if all my RRSPs are captured. My total limit is this here, and I had excess amount from last year, I remember, yes, and my total RSP deductions are same because I maxed my RSP. This is good. EI premiums, have you entered into an agreement with Canada? This is in case you accessed your EI benefits, so select yes. In my case it is no, so I didn't claim any of the EI benefits, so it's no. Again, this doesn't apply to me either, so nothing to be filled here. No need to bother about this. This is all pulling out details from your previous tax returns. The first one is in case you had capital losses from, let's say, sale of your securities. Second, if you had capital losses from your registered business, which I didn't have. If you had losses from your limited partnership, again, I don't have any limited partnership, so we can move on. Now the statement of securities. This is T5008. Again, this is all directly pulled. However, we'll need to make some edits here where required. Here I'll select capital because this is sales of security. So these are the stocks that I sold in year 2021. So here automatically in box 20 is the cost price at which I purchased these stocks, and in box 21 column, the selling price is captured. So I'll select capital all. If you see, the refund amount is also changing. My share is 100%. Again, in case you are sharing a joint account with your partner, you can select your share, let's say 50, and here in the drop down you can select with whom you are sharing these returns, which in my case would be my wife. However, in my case all these securities were purchased and sold under my name, so I'll put 100% here. Now one caution is that all these amounts here are in the local currency, which means in my case the first 4 securities were purchased and sold with New York Stock Exchange, which means that they are in USD, while the last 2 securities were purchased and sold with Toronto Stock Exchange, and hence they are already in Canadian dollars. What you need to do is enter all the amounts in this section in Canadian dollars. You can find the rate for Canadian dollars on Bank of Canada website, that is bankofcanada.ca. Click on exchange rates, annual exchange rates, come down, and here you will find, for instance, US dollar exchange rate against Canadian dollar was 1.2535 in 2021. This is the exchange rate that you can use to convert your US dollar values into Canadian dollars. Apply that rate and update these amounts. Note the securities listed here are only the ones that I have sold in my unregistered account. Any securities that I sold under RRSP or TFSA won't be reported on your tax return at all. So this is done. अच्छा, टॉकिंग अबाउट डिविडेंड इनकम, कैपिटल गेन्स, अगर आप इंटरेस्टेड हैं कि स्टॉक मार्केट में पैसा इन्वेस्ट करके अपना पैसा ग्रो करें, तो एक प्लेटफॉर्म जो मैं यूज़ करता हूँ, ब्रोकरेज, ऑनलाइन ब्रोकरेज हाउस जो मैं यूज़ करता हूँ, उसका नाम है क्वेस्ट्रेड का फ़ायदा ये है कि ना सिर्फ आप उसके थ्रू कनाडा में इन्वेस्ट कर सकते हैं, बट उसके थ्रू आप यूएस में भी इन्वेस्ट कर सकते हैं। ये वाहिद ब्रोकर है कनाडा में जो कि यूएस इन्वेस्टमेंट के लिए सबसे ज़्यादा चीप है। इसकी जो है इन्वेस्टमेंट कॉस्ट विद रिगार्ड्स टू इन्वेस्टिंग इन यूएस स्टॉक एक्सचेंज सबसे ज़्यादा सस्ती है। अच्छा, मैं पर्सनली प्रेफर करता हूँ कि मैं अपना ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा पोर्टफोलियो इन्वेस्टमेंट यूएस स्टॉक मार्केट में ही इन्वेस्ट करूँ, क्योंकि ना सिर्फ वो दुनिया की सबसे बड़ी इकोनॉमी है, बल्कि वो डाइवर्सिफाइड है ज़्यादा, और वो ज़्यादा अच्छा परफॉर्म भी करती रही है हिस्टोरिकली। तो अगर आप मेरी तरह इंटरेस्टेड हैं क्वेस्ट्रेड यूज़ करने में, तो आई हाईली रिकमेंड, एक प्रोमो कोड है विच आई विल लीव इन द डिस्क्रिप्शन ऑफ दिस वीडियो। अगर आप वो प्रोमो कोड यूज़ करेंगे तो आपको $50 का क्रेडिट मिलेगा, जो कि आप यूज़ कर सकते हैं टूवर्ड्स योर future investments and stock purchases. Now let's get rolling back into the tutorial. Now let's move on. This section is for your information only. If you open, you'll see the capital gains and losses that you incurred in prior years. Now this is the T5 form, and this is directly pulled from CRA as well. This reports my dividend income. Now going down further, T3 is dividend income that I have earned on my ETFs or mutual funds. This is also automatically populated, so nothing doing here. And this way all my details have been added, primarily the ones that were already submitted with CRA. Now in case you don't have any further income at this stage from any other sources, and this is all the information that you had to share with CRA, you can go ahead and start filling the tax return for your wife. Going here, selecting your partner's name, form, and run the same process. In case you didn't choose to submit your partner's tax return together, you can just review and optimize. Now in my case, I'm not done yet because I have two more sources of income. One is rental income, that is the income I earn on the property that I've rented out, and second is the income that I earn from my e-commerce website. So for that, I will need to fill two more forms. In case those two forms don't apply to you, you can move towards the end of the video where I will review the entire form, optimize, and then submit it. In case the rental income and personal business applies to you, then stay tuned, because in the next part of the videos I will take you through filling those forms manually, because that information is not available with CRA, given that information is only available with you, so only you can fill those forms manually. So now in order to fill the form for the rental income, I will first need to find the form. For this we will go up to the form search bar. Now here in the search bar I will type rental income, and it will add the form for the rental income that I need to manually fill. I need to provide the address for the property that is rented, the period for which it was rented. Yes, I'm a co-owner because I have a shared property with my wife. Partnership would be the case in case you have a business partnership. Here I will need to provide the co-owner details, the partnership split, and here I can select my wife's tax return. In this case, as soon as I populate the information in this form, it will directly show the split in her form as well. So it will split the income between my form and her form, which means I don't have to fill it separately. Number of units 1. Here I will add the gross rental income that I've earned for the year. It gets automatically populated. Other related income, no. Personal use, that means that if you have an expense that you've incurred and there is a part of that expense which was personal, then you add that percentage here, but in my case it was 0, so I'll keep it 0. Advertising expenses are expenses incurred in case to put your property on rent. This is the insurance cost that I have on my property. This is the cost of interest that I pay on my mortgage, taxes that I pay on that property, travel charges that I've incurred in visiting that property. This also includes toll charges and fuel, any utilities that I've paid for that property, and maintenance and repairs that I've done. Here note, even if your property, which was the case for me as well for the tax year, was not rented for the entire year, however the intention was to rent it because I had a tenant who was going in and out and there was a gap of a month, I would include the interest and tax and all the cost for that month as well, because the intention was to put the property on rental. Because I did not earn the rental income for the month during which the property was not rented, however I was still incurring the expenses pertaining to advertisements, insurance, interest and taxes and all. So here my net income is 3,415, which is divided by 2 with my co-owner, so my share is 1707.50 and my wife have the balance on her statement. Now in order to capture the income and expenses for my personal e-commerce business, we'll go back to the search bar and search for business professional commission income, which is form T2125, and select it. Once selected, this form will get added. Here you will write your business name, GST number in case you have one. I don't have any GST number because my sale is less than the threshold below which you don't need to file for any GST or HST. What kind of income did you earn? Does the business has its own address? No, because it's an e-commerce business. Is this a partnership? Yes, because I run this business in partnership with my wife. Period is fine. What is the main product? Industry code. If you aren't sure, you can go to this website to search for the industry code. For me, it's electronic shopping and mail order houses. Add partnership information here, name of my wife and partnership split. Important that you select here your partner's name so it can directly populate her or his tax return. No partnership business number, and now we can start filling the income and expense statement. So I put the gross sales here. Do you have inventory? No, I don't keep inventory because it's a dropship business. The cost of product sold, so no subcontractor, no wages cost, so I'll just enter it here. This is the cost of my marketing on Google, Facebook, and other content creation, meals and entertainment that I've incurred for around this business. Note that whatever expenses you've incurred, you can only include 50% of those expenses. Again, if anything is relevant for your business, fill up the form accordingly. I'm just filling up the form basis what is relevant for my business. Telephone and utilities, and some miscellaneous expenses. So after including the income and expenses, my net income is 771 and my share of that income is 385, which will be reflected on my tax return. All this doesn't apply to my business, again because it's a small e-commerce business, so there is no business use of home expense, motor vehicle expenses and all. With this, my tax return is done. Now what I will do is I will move to my wife's tax return and then make sure I follow the same steps, primarily filling in the personal information, then connecting my wife tax software with her CRA account, and then making sure that the income split for the rental income and the profit from the business is rightly reflected in her statement. So again, similarly, we'll fill in all these details. Go down, connect with my CRA account, and follow the steps in order to connect your Simple software to your CRA account so all the relevant data can be populated. In this way, you'll start to see the refund number to show up against your partner's tax return as well. Do the same things, quickly go down, check if all the details are correctly filled and all the tax slips are correctly reflected. More importantly, make sure that all the numbers that you manually filled on your tax statement and shared 50% split or any percentage split with your partner are correctly reflected in her or his. Clicking on co-owner information, and yeah, share this T776 with BAH, which is myself. This is good. Going on the business and professional, and again clicking on partnership information. Here, share this T2125 with BAH, which is rightly being shared. So this is good as well. Add percentage split to be allocated for the profits. Now before pressing on review and optimize, check here and see if there are any figures in red color, which means these are the errors that you need to fix before you review and optimize your return. One means that there is one error in my form that I need to correct. If you click on it, you can see where that error is. My error is in the T4 slip, and you can click on the error and it will take you there. The error will be colored in red. Now once all the errors have been corrected, click on review and optimize. Once you click on review and optimize, it will show you different warnings that you just need to check and go through. Thanks for using the autofill my return. Remember, it's still your responsibility to report all your income on your return. The CRA may not have all the information on the file. This is exactly why I punched in my rental income and the business income. When you saved autofill my return, the CRA indicated that you haven't yet filed tax returns, which is fine because I became resident of Canada for 2017. So I checked all the warnings, and if there is no significant issue, you can just cancel them and move forward. On top, the software will also provide you some suggestions. Now, first suggestion is that you may be eligible to claim employment expenses if you work from home due to COVID. In case you did, you can press on apply and then you can fill in the required details. And yes, I would like to use a temporary flat rate. Yes. Going back to other suggestions, review and optimize. Again, you can go through each of the sessions and see if they apply to you. Once that is done, you go and click on submit and click on submit tax return. And this way your tax return will be submitted with CRA. You'll have to do the same for your wife as well. Go on to her tax return, review and optimize and then press submit. ये वीडियो देखने का शुक्रिया. होपफुली इस वीडियो देखने के बाद आपको आइडिया हो गया होगा कि कैसे एक सिंपल तरीके से आप अपना टैक्स रिटर्न फाइल कर सकते हैं. बल्कि इन फ्यूचर आपको ये वीडियो देखने की भी ज़रूरत नहीं पड़ेगी. बगैर ये वीडियो देखे ही आप ये टैक्स सॉफ्टवेयर यूज़ करके अपना टैक्स रिटर्न फाइल कर सकते हैं. बेशक ये वीडियो ना देखिएगा, पर इस चैनल को ज़रूर सब्सक्राइब कीजिएगा और इस चैनल पे जो मैं और मेरी वाइफ बतूल कंटेंट डालते हैं उसको ज़रूर देखिएगा, लाइक कीजिएगा और सब्सक्राइब करते रहें और आगे भी शेयर करते रहें. थैंक यू.